going, what Mureko Day Mukesai playing 5 years later? If those still people will still have the same weight that they have for UPND today.
Fantastic.
My chances are.
Okay. So we got Simuuwe just joined us. Simuuwe has just joined us. Beautiful program. And
okay, wonderful.
We welcome you, Mark. How are you?
Thank you very much. I just found. In fact, I just saw a link. I was just trying to check for something, and then I realized that I was just trying to attempt. Then, fortunately, I found there was a conversation.
Right connection. You're welcome.
So I'm just driving home. We're just coming from a meeting.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's good. I think you can amplify or clarify certain topics that we've been discussing. We've just targeted and we've been talking about a few issues, of course, concerning the Munduvilo case, and people are saying, why was that done, or are we, trying to make him popular, for that, and in a political sense, is that, are we looking at it in that realm in terms of the police arresting him, and him coming out on social media, making him look like a champion with people, behind his back? Are we trying to make him popular, or like, what is it like, or the government has, it doesn't have anything to do with the, the operations of the police or investigation agencies,
including the defections of the PFMPs, UPND. Would make a comment on that one.
Okay. Thank you very much. So the issue relating to Munduvile borders on the law and not politics.
Yes.
We need to strike the difference between campaigns and law breaking. So clearly, what was coming out, the issues of espionage and all those things, they are contained in the Penal Code Caput 87 of the laws of Zambia. I've always indicated that it is possible to create checks and balances without breaking the law. The difference perhaps between UPND in the opposition and the current opposition we have is that the Patriotic Front, for example, came through mobocracy. There were no clear policies to inform the Patriotic Front victory. There was more influence on the lower class, the illiterates, the cowboys, and all those things. At that time, they never cared when people talked about the importance of education. Fortunately, it was at a time when we were talking about improving the qualifications for one to be president. If you recall that during the constitutional amendments, there was an issue of a degree as a qualification, which was later on struck out from the conversation. But then, what should be made very clear is that no one is telling us that Munduvile did not break the law. We seem to be more concerned about whether you are campaigning for him or not. You need to understand that the political dynamics are different. In Zambia right now, we have had politicians who have spoken like champions. They are in prison right now. They are saving because they broke the law. And when they were getting into prison, they even said they would emerge victorious. They said a lot of things, but they are finished now. You need to understand that the circumstances and the environment are totally different. We are dealing with a cadre of citizens who seem to know exactly what kind of a leader they are looking for. Right now, most of the citizens are issue-based. When they criticize UPND, even online, for some of us that are handling information, I'll be very frank with you that they will raise issues. It is either they are complaining that there was a fault under ZESCO for 5 years for 5 days they have not had power. or they are raising issues of the cost of living. In other words, we have literally raised the bar in terms of the political discourse that we have. It is no longer about who has the biggest nose, who laughs the loudest, who is rich in insults and all those things. Not anymore. This time, campaigns are literally based on who has the alternative to the UPND. For example, what is their alternative to free education? What is their alternative to cash for work? What is their alternative to debt restructuring? What is their alternative to attracting foreign investors who have increased or improved our revenue turnover as well as exports? Today, where we have able to manufacture our own fertilizer, making Kwacha one of the best performing currencies in the world. Who is providing the alternative to an economy which we found with the GDP at 2.7, at negative 2.7, and now it's above 5%? Who has that kind of alternative where you are dealing with a country which is the only country to have succeeded in debt restructuring under the G20 framework, and after Zambia, no other country has succeeded? Who has that kind of caliber? Then you find people are flexing individuals who have been tried before. They can never jump beyond what we have seen them jump. They have reached their climax. They have been ministers, they have been cabinet ministers in an environment that literally failed the people of Zambia, where you had council workers going without salaries for 7 to 15 months arrears, where you had 258,000 farmers going for 2 years unpaid, where you had Tazama ex-workers unpaid and they were not sure of their money, including Tazara. Now, so much has changed. Today you are dealing with a government that found so many suppliers unpaid. They had to come up working with cooperating partners with what was called domestic debt dismantling strategy 2022 to 2026. An economy which was where a government was owing oil marketing companies $700 million, almost equivalent to Eurobond. An economy that was owing
hold on.
$700 million. Yes. OMCs owed money. An economy that was owing what domestic debt, just Mamba Quarries alone, $500 million. I'm sure you remember that government had to dismantle it because Mamba Quarries had stopped supplying power to ZESCO because they were owing all that money. ZESCO had collapsed completely. There was almost a takeover because of sovereign guarantees. That's why I entered into. Now, I want to mention to you that these are the things that we should have expected the opposition to raise. When UPND was in the opposition, the message was simple. They simply said we shall provide free education against the PF policy, which required parents to pay, poor parents in villages to pay for their children. They just said we shall revamp the mining sector. We shall revamp the mining sector and reverse the liquidation process. We were basically providing alternatives. And these are the things we are talking about. They said, oh, these council workers will now be paid and paid on time. Civil servants will not have to fight with government for them to have a salary increase. Today it's happening almost automatically. Then we also promise Zambians that we shall restructure the debt. We shall also ensure that we start producing our own fertilizer. Today, we are exporting fertilizer to 8 countries. We are now manufacturing batteries and exporting to 8 countries. National nitrogen chemicals of Zambia is also manufacturing about 288,000 metric tons of urea per year. And also blended fertilizer, part of which is going to Malawi. It's one of our biggest markets for tea plantation. Now you can see that when we right now we are talking about HH. We found tourists per year. In 2021, there were 500,000 tourists. Today, as we are talking, over 2.2 million in a year tourists visiting this country. What did we do?
Really?
We had to relax visa conditions. They are bringing forex, and the hospitality industry is back. In Zambia today, people are now constructing. They are putting up serviced apartments because the business industry is booming. Those who are in car hire, it's booming. And you will never have an economic mistake or blunder when dealing with Zambia. Things show for themselves. The president on every quarter is having a business forum with private sector industries so that he engages them to find out challenges they are faced with, whether they have to do with the taxes and all those things. Then immediately there is policy direction. We are hosting summits right now where we are having business expos by sector. We attract foreign investors from the region and overseas. And then in what we may call a one-stop type of institutional mechanization where you'll have immigration officers at Mulungushi International Conference Center with their desk. We will have Pakra with their desk. As those investors are leaving Zambia, they are going with a certificate and also a work permit immediately. Now, these are things that are fundamental and premised on the policy framework of the UPND. It doesn't require jokers. It requires people that understand. We had brought down governance issues and relegated them to strategism, where we had ministers with questionable characters and parading them to go and debate with professors at international conventions. That's how low Zambia had become. Now, let me get back to the question. Why I thought it was necessary for me to talk about these things is for me to remind the Zambians that even the CDF itself was 1.6 million. In 2021, when we came into power, they failed to settle even in an election year, the 1.6 million. We had to pay it. Now it is 40 million. Over 200,000 youths have graduated from vocational training colleges. It has never happened in the history of this country. Now you have the whole Namibia sending a delegation to come and learn more about CDF. The UN delegation came also. They want to use CDF as an economic model for developing countries in Africa. Zambia now has become a case study. I hope those of you who are in the diaspora do understand that we are now a case study. So we are coming up with things that cash for work instead of handouts and tantamen. We are doing cash for work for citizens. We have what we are calling imisepera loans. 50,000 kwacha. They are rearing chickens. The population is growing. They are doing different businesses. You see Zambians now are boasting on social media, boasting about the backyard gardens they have, the maize they have. The mindset is changing by day. Because now we have managed to take back over 2.5 million pupils into school as a result of free education. Then there is also a school feeding program. We are coming up with programs that are incomparable. Now, when we have a type of opposition that we have, with that background I've given, well, honestly speaking, you must be a joker to start thinking that anything can come out of their mind. The only thing that they can do right now is Plan B. Now, I want to disclose to you that the information that reached us, that part of Plan B at Kampingila House was to cause chaos in the country ahead of the general elections and, if possible, disrupt the elections. That's why you saw Bill 7 was highly contested. They were willing to create a constitutional crisis. I belabored to deal with the issues of the constitution when you brought me on this platform. I'm sure you remember.
Yes.
I explained them exhaustively. So, right now, our question should not be premised on the popularity of Mundubile. There is no popularity to talk about. But in the first place, amongst themselves, they are disjointed. You know, he has never been tested anywhere. And in Zambia, like any African state, you cannot beat a majority president. Look, here is the reality that people don't understand. President HH is the only majoritarian leader ever elected under 50% plus one. We have never had one. When Levi Mwanawasa came in, he won by about 26 or 27% to become president. In the second term, he came to about he came to about 42%. Mike was at that was 42%. Therefore, the only president that has ever won in the country after the revolution of 1991 with a majority votes under 50% plus one is President HH. Now, Zambians have never tested a majority leader. It's a gamble to think in the manner people are thinking about Munduvila and these crooks. No. It's a big gamble. So right now, the question should not be about popularity. It should be, has the law been broken? And does one's political career make them immune to prosecution? What kind of environment are we going to create if we are going to overlook and nod law breaking because we want to score politically? If you want chaos that you have never seen before, you allow people to go into lawlessness. Because right now, the opposition are very much aware that none of them has a capacity, even to share a platform with HH and debate. He's a world-class leader who can race with leaders even in Europe. Put them on the platform and give them a microphone. You know he will perform.
Yes.
Get 100%. Any of those guys to articulate issues. Nothing will come out of their mouth apart from insults. And unfortunately, they are still dealing with Stone Age politics of insults, propaganda. If you look at the lot of deceit being published online. And they are wasting their time instead of creating checks and balances to the things that are being done under the new Dawn administration. Health sector, we found now. Let me conclude. Let me get before you come in. There was the initial of defection.
Yes,
it was a misdirection for ZNBC to have reported that Chabinga defected. Chabinga did not defect. Chabinga is a leader of a ruling party. I mean, of a political party.
That was my question. I was like, how does he defect and still remain? That was going to be my question. I was like,
yeah. So he's a leader, he can't, so he did not. So what has been happening is that people are saying, no, these people automatically are supposed to lose their seats. Now, the jurisprudence of statutory interpretation in Zambia is that a constitutional provision is only binding when the court has made the pronouncement. So you have to test the provision.
Why do you need
it? Okay? You need to test the provision right now, where one has crossed the floor.
What?
Because by the time, because they are aware that Parliament is dissolving soon.
What?
By the time someone is raising a petition and the ruling is, upheld, Parliament will have dissolved. You'll be going in court. They will also apply for a stay. When they apply for a stay pending determination by the Court, Parliament would dissolve. They will remain in Parliament. So they know what they are doing.
So in simple terms,
I'm talking about
Munduvire is still a PF leader.
No, they formed what they are calling is a Tonse leader. They are forming all those things. Yeah. So
confusing.
There is total confusion. You know why these MPs are defecting? It's because it's not clear on which ticket they would stand if elections were called today.
Okay.
Some of them, that is the drive. So they find UPND to be more organized. And truth be told, UPND is the most organized political party which has had successful what you may call conventions. In UPND, there is called the General Assembly.
General Assembly, yes. And people have been questioning that. Why does the UPND go to a convention? Can you tap on that one?
Yes, so Article 60 of the Constitution of Zambia provides for the promotion of regular elections. The Constitution of Zambia does not state the time and the tenure. So what is happening in the UPND Constitution, it's talking about having elections every 5 years. Okay. Every 5 years, it does not state after that 5 years. The ones who has the jurisdiction to set the date is the National Management Committee.
Okay.
So it is like the Constitution of Zambia, the way it used to be before we had a fixed date for general elections. It was entirely up to the president now to fix the date. That's how the Constitution of UPND is.
Okay. So there's no specific date.
No. So there is no such a provision. And then there is also no provision which says that the mandate must come to an end. There should always be, the mandate comes at a point when the structures are dissolved.
Yeah.
Not at the expiration of 5 years, but when the structures are dissolved at the General Assembly. That's when the mandate comes to an end. So those guys are just waffling, they're wasting their time, the matter will be thrown out. Because of the case law that every club has its own rules. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And apparently they are fishing in the dark. Because what has happened is that apparently UPND.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question, Mark. So, is this matter before court that you are discussing, or it is not?
Which one?
The one matter of the people that want the UPND to go for legislation.
We are
saying like it should be thrown out.
No, I'm saying we have not been served anything. There is no service.
Oh, okay.
You only a matter is only before the court when you have been served.
Okay.
Yes. So the point is so the point is that we are basically dealing with a process where we have not been served. And even if we were served, that's the forum shopping is UPND is not a PF. It is established on a very strong foundation. It's founded on very strong. That's why from the time of all these presidents, they tried to sponsor things. They tried to buy my vice presidents and so on. UPND has never collapsed.
Very true. Very, very, very true. Very true.
So right now, where we stand, we are on terra firma. We have nothing to worry about. Right now, while they are wasting time like that, we are just feasting on them, busy collecting their own members.
That's why all these people are coming. When it's such a time down, when everybody, they're all coming in. They're like,
they are more coming. Just observe. Just watch the space.
And last time I was watching you. I think it was last week. You told me you were saying like there are a lot of councillors that are coming. Not these ones that are, but there are more coming.
Of course, even MPs they are coming. Now, if PF lost elections when they had all these MPs, imagine the massacre that they will face without all those strong people.
You see, I don't know if Max had heard my submission about that. I don't think you heard my submission. You see, George Owen, in one of the books, he wrote that political language is designed to make lies sound truthful and murder respected. One does not need to look far from this principle in modern. You see, when politics are at play, people are either going to benefit or are going to suffer. Only the beneficiation going only to those that want to use the people. If you see the people that are coming to join you, I have nothing to their democratic right. They can come join you and do that. What value are they going to add with UPND? What is it that are going to be different? Let me finish.
Now listen.
Let me finish. These are people who have been globetrotting from part they were in MMD. Look where they represented people in MMD. They jumped from MMD, went to PF. Some of them were in UPND, by the way. They were UPND members. They jumped UPND. They went into MMD. Or others jumped straight from UPND into PF. And then jump again back into UPND. Now, as a citizen, I get concerned when I see such kind of threats from the same people. That now, all of a sudden, they have become very loyal to you guys of UPND. They have become very loyal to the people of Zambia. So now they are then going to be very, very productive. From MMD, they jumped. You go to the constituency they represented, what they left? Nothing. What points they influenced? Nothing. They went into PF. They served there, enjoyed ministers and everything. Then the boom, they leave PF. They now jump into PND. And again, they come now. That now they have solely behind the leadership of President HH. They mean so very well. They understand what he's doing. And now they refuse to jump the ship off so that we can have a by-election and test their popularity when their time was there. If they saw there was so much confusion in to join, there is no integrity in these people that are jumping from this one thing to the other. And I'm going to tell you for a fact that it is for their own person and their family business. That is all. It is not about the people and saving the people that they're going to be pretending that they save. UPND is getting them for the purposes of also their resources for campaigns and other people. These people are bad people. We must reject these people. There are people within UPND there where you are, where they have been within UPND, they're educated, they have been loyal, they're out. They are not going to members of parliament. Others even lost in the previous elections and they want to recontest. What happens? You have someone who comes that no, he follows the president to Livingstone and is appointed that no, you are going to stand in the next place. What do you make of the people? People, let's not start fooling people in these things. Let's just be honest about certain things. The promises of belong, yes, they're there. There are some of the things are not there. If you talk about, I will talk for instance, which I constantly hear, and I don't know how I can stomach it. When people talk about the retirees, they say retirees were found at Ministry of Justice. I have heard the minister in the current government talk about retirees found at the Ministry of Justice. When in fact that is not true. There is no retiree who has gone to the Ministry of Justice to start going to look for the money there. There is no one. But when ministers talk, some of them, without clear information, they say, they refer to them as retirees. Those are separatists. And a minister, a member of parliament, must know the distinction between a separatist and a retiree. So there are certain things that are done just to dupe people, lie to people.
Okay.
We must reject that kind of arrangement.
Vakazia,
Now coming to Vamunduriye, he has a right to do what he's doing. And Mark, people that have spoken like that before, what do people say about President Eke? It's the same word we are using against him.
Right. All right.
He can be president. And what are you going to do? Let's have some risk.
Chanda will not stop talking if you don't stop him.
Vakazia, let's humble ourselves and we've heard what your questions are, and we know what
myself.
No, no. What we're saying is we've heard your questions.
Yeah, thank you. Then don't say I should humble myself.
We've heard your questions, and then allow us to answer those questions. Because if you keep on hammering on the same thing for the next 2 hours, nobody's going to
do the same thing. Please go ahead.
So we know your submission is pretty much clear. It's pretty much clear. And you want to talk about all the fact that just 2 issues really.
I can answer one of his questions.
But let me just deal with it in this manner. Thank you very much, Vakazia. Now listen to this. You are saying these people must be rejected. There is no such a law in Zambia. First of all, in fact, the laws that we have is freedom of association. They can actually sue you for limiting their association. In the High Court. Now, let me finish. I'm not done. Let me finish. Now,
but don't you?
wait a minute. You react, Vakazia. I'm trying to deal with your question this way.
Just relax.
All right,
Let me deal with your question this way. So, when you say that these politicians, what value are they going to add? I want to tell you that Michael Sata was in UNIP, he was in MMD and formed the government. ECA was UPND. Became your president.
I love those
He was
answers.
the chairman. He was the chairman for the legal committee in UPND. Now, it is because in 1991 we reverted to multi-party democracy. It's a style of leadership or system where we have a plural politics consisting of different clubs. And in those clubs, the constitution also recognizes crossing the floor. And it even says when one crosses the floor, that's the type of leadership. It is right in the constitution. They are free to cross the floor without being called names. Okay? Now, it is in Zambia where we begin to think sometimes that it is the political prostitution. In any case, there is no such concept as political prostitution. The other thing is, Hitler himself, who has been ranked one of those guys that use propaganda a lot, Hitler belonged to the leftists. Then he had to join the right wing until he became chancellor. That's how he ascended into leadership. So I've given you an example that Michael Sata, Chris Cross was moving from one government to the other. Lungu did the same. And there is nothing wrong with that. Now, so the question is, what value did they add? Now, we should not lower the debate to that level. First of all, what is political value? What is political value? We need to redefine this. What is political value? Political value can come in terms of numbers. Political because in politics you get people belonging to different categories and with different qualifications. So it also depends on what you define as political value. When you say to what value will they add, it's the numbers.
Number.
So you can get political value in terms of numbers being added. And you should never underestimate that, because that is why President Michael Sata had to run the government with defectors.
Yes.
Yes. Who were running also with ECL. When Hari Karaba, all these when Hari Karaba were named MD. Munduvile has never been PF, we joined later. All those according to Muisa. Now that's the type of politics that we practice here. So you can't manipulate a conversation or a discourse because you are agreed because you are moving to another political party.
No,
you can only say only say go well, enjoy your politics. That's how it goes.
Look at this, man. There's something that I need to clarify quickly, because I did not say they don't have the rights.
I'm coming back to clarify. No. I'm coming back.
Yeah, but yes, you are clarifying what I've not as that credit is okay for you, because that's not what I said.
I did not use the Zambian.
Look at this. I said I'm speaking to the Zambians, the resident voter, which is my right to speak. That if a person behaves like this, assess them. If you think that this is okay to do, give them the vote. That is what democracy is about. If you think what I have said is a checkbox, it's a checkbox. If this person did A, B, C, D, let's say for instance, a person who has been caught stealing, and you saw a thief is stolen, he comes and stands there and say, "Oh, I want to be your leader." The democracy decides either if you elect him and you know he's a thief, you can't come and complain tomorrow that you elected the thief. You understand? So people must say this guy is a thief, but make a choice. So you cannot stop people from telling you that this guy is a thief. So those people that are joining you for me, who is a citizen, I have a right to say the way I'm saying it. I'm saying if people think that, oh, what they've done in the past is this, what value they've added to this. UPND is playing politics. They have to bring everybody who they think can help them win. It is okay for that. But what about the people? I'm speaking to that voter. So my speech is to the voter. It's not for you who is looking for people to support you. No.
No. Okay.
So
All right.
okay, here. So now let me wind up on this. Let me wind up like this. Let me wind up on this one like this. That's what politics is. Politics is not a religion. Okay?
Good.
It is a competition of ideas, and it deals with persuasion. It deals with persuasion. And this persuasion can move from point A to B and vice versa without any apology. Correct.
Yes.
So now, it's basically a scientific way of people competing with ideas. It ends like that. But I should also further buttress one very important point, that under the circumstances, it is a well-known fact where there is plural politics, that a charismatic leader will attract many people for support. And people join politics for different reasons.
Exactly. That is not even anyone.
So exactly. So now we should not be at pain, and we express pain as an opinion.
No, but who is defining pain?
All right.
I'm coming. There is one scholar in philosophy who talks about pleasure.
Hold on.
I like Mark. I like
no. Let's hold on. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I think
let's get back to issues now.
Yes.
Now,
break the law.
We have a that's talking about the United States, cutting the aid for HIV in Zambia, and people are saying it's linked to minerals. Yeah, they're saying that if you don't have access to those minerals, then we cannot give you this. I don't know how true that is, but it's something that's being reported in media, everywhere in social media is there. And you, Mark, I think you might have some information that we may not have.
Government already issued a statement, and I think they have been very clear. We have agreed that we will not continue having that conversation. I'm sure the first statement that was issued was that we could not proceed on the trajectory of clinching a deal, given terms of reference. Given the terms of reference that required that citizens' information and private information was going to be made available. But right now, I think you need to also appreciate what we have done. When much of the aid was cut off, the president undertook, based on the revenue collections that had improved, to increase budget allocation to the Ministry of Health by 30%, almost the same amount that was cut off. I was seated next to the U.S. ambassador, who would later on ran away from an interview. He did not want to be interviewed. At that point, actually, 2 weeks later, there was a statement that the U.S. will continue to support Zambia. So there's nothing sinister. Right now, government has made it very clear. I think we will not engage into deep diplomatic conversation at the moment, and we guided ourselves. I have guided also the media team that we will not discuss much, much of this information relating to this, because we have no crisis in the health sector. Government is managing now. We have no crisis. The budget has been increased, and it's very clear that we found the medical supplies and purchase of medicine at 30%. Now we are above the WHO threshold, meaning the dividends and the indicators are favoring us in the area of medicine. And we are also opening more cancer hospitals. More
manufacturing industries are being initiated where we can actually produce.
So now we are now going to start manufacturing our own medicine, as you heard from the head of state when he was commissioning the United Capital Fertilizer plant alongside the thermal plant. One of the things that will be taking place in that industrial yard now is that we have now commenced construction of pharmaceutical industries that will be manufacturing medicine locally. Already, we have also started manufacturing cholera vaccines. Now, the message for Africa is that we need to begin manufacturing our own medicine.
Mm.
And once we do that, then it helps us to be self-sustaining in many spheres. And I should also mention that already the things that we are manufacturing in the region have made many countries in the region to stop importing, for example, fertilizer from Europe. Zambia has a huge market. Maize, Zambia has a huge market. Agriculture, Zambia has a huge market. So we are getting there. And this is as it should be. So we need to encourage more citizens to participate in these activities.
Now, Mark, I wanted to ask a question. You're saying that as a government, if you stop to the discourse, to the conversation around the citizens' conversation on the issues to do with the perceived
Not as government. Not as government. What we have done ourselves as media director. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so we coordinate also with the government communication systems. Because
yes, I know.
If we have to deliver correct information, we interact in such a manner that is coordinated with PPROs that we have put. We have put PPROs in each ministry. So we interface on a number of issues so that there is exactness. I'll be able to share much of the information which I have with you electronically by sector. And this is the information I'm speaking to. So we have what is coming from under policy compliance unit at State House. So this has the implementation status of the UPND government's key policy reforms. So by sector, what we have scored, what has been the challenges, and then we also have access to literature under PDU, Presidential Delivery Unit, and among many other institutions that have been established. So now we have agreed. We have agreed that we will not indulge ourselves in discussing a matter that borders on diplomatic relations. And from the party standpoint,
okay.
So for as long as
I think let's move ahead. Let's talk about the.
I have a last submission on that. Right. Because you see, Mark, it is good that you can make that, but to stop people, to stop people from having. We are not stopping people.
We have stopped the media team.
We have not stopped citizens. Mark, can I finish, please? If you can hear me, then you can answer it. Because my concern is this. You see, the people that you're talking about that we were concerned the media need not to talk about, they have informed citizens. Leaders at first listen to citizens. Very, very carefully, they will listen to citizens. And later on, they start to listen to advisors. Eventually, they start to listen to their own speeches. At the second point, dangerous things happen. The criticisms start to be seen as betrayal. Questions become hostility. Statistics the person is explaining. These are things that are happening. Because if you are going to say, let's stop it, it's okay, Mark, to allow it and have people to ask you questions whenever they saw one. Whether they ask you or even in those media units that you have given in the ministries, let questions be flow and then you can just be providing like you have done right here. Right here is a good example of you answering to what the citizens are asking. But when you start to say, we have kind of limited it, I think for me that doesn't sit very well. I like the way you done it now.
Now I'm very disappointed because I thought you told me that you were once a civil servant. Now, I think it's in the communication system of government.
Yeah.
There are guidelines on what should be made public and where government believes this may be handled diplomatically. When government says anything that borders on diplomatic issues, we shall handle it diplomatically and not publicly. You can choose to tell the media that way. That's an answer as well. To give answers does not mean opening a Pandora's box, so that you give a reason for having a conversation. No, that is recklessness in communication.
Mark,
it is recklessness in communication.
You
now make like bedroom.
No.
It's like That's why there are diplomatic channels for resolving certain things. Not everything that you can discuss.
Bring
Kaziya again. I want Kaziya to have a safe sleep. Bring him on.
Yes, in fact, you see, one of the things is this. When you say the party structure and the government structure are separate, even as the political media, they are separate. In terms of, they are separate.
What do you mean by separate?
For instance, you are not a civil servant.
No, I'm saying, what do you mean by
you are
separate?
When I say they are separate, in terms of the functionality and information delivered, they are separate. Because
we are integrating and nothing stops us from doing that.
No, listen.
We passed a law. Access to information bill is now law. So now, this is what I'm saying. Sometimes, listen.
No.
Maybe you're speaking out of ignorance. We have a law now.
No, I am not speaking out of ignorance. You are speaking out of lack of serious understanding of how a civil service works. I work in never been one. I think. Let's have a simple conversation.
But here's the thing.
Do not reduce the bar of conversations to.
When you
don't bring them down. We are giving you information. Now you are busy quarreling. We are busy quarreling. You are busy quarreling. You are failing to understand that a ruling party has a comparative advantage. If you are in USA is a good example. USA is a good example. There is no difference between the Republicans and the policies they are passing. Because what happened is that, the way Zambia is designed, all government policies are emanating from the UPND manifesto.
Who doesn't know that?
So how do you fail to explain a government policy?
No, because you are interjecting. You see what when I start talking, you start.
Okay, look at this.
That's the caliber of PF. That's the caliber of PF civil servants you are seeing there.
Yeah,
that's why PF failed. Now that's why PF failed. You ask people like Chanda what he delivered when he was working. There is nothing to write home about.
Now listen. Okay.
I'm a lawyer with different degrees, well qualified. You are the one who is a cadre. You are an appointee.
You are a leader in your party. Chill. I will take you on. That's how you play for your behaving. You want to hide in the name of having worked in government. No. You see, the problem is that
when you know you are a typical guy, you want to hide in the name of having worked in government.
No, come on back. You are shameless.
We will take you on. There is nothing like that.
I will take you on as well. I'm telling you.
And now you are to pay.
I'm not going.
I'm not at bed. I will say you are not a friend to be there, Mark.
Have you seen why our debt went up?
Everything now.
It is because of the caliber of a person that you are talking about now.
Can you just listen for 1 minute? Can you just listen for 1 minute?
Okay, I'll listen.
Then you are pretending to be professional.
No, you are right.
Let's debate.
Let's debate, but don't be disrespectful. I've got to be respectful to you.
So Bakazia, so not tumweva team.
Here's
what we're going to do. Okay, over to us. What we're going to do is this. No, this is what we're going to do.
Bakazia.
There's
no political party to talk about now. They are finished. So apart in 2 days, we are going to receive more defectors. So in 2 days, we are going to receive more defectors. More MPs are coming.
So what we're going to do is this. I'm going to propose one thing. Okay? This is what I'm going to propose. Let's have an independent debate on a topic. Because you claim to say you have so many ideas and programs, and then let's have a well-rounded program whereby Mwaika.
We are going to give him what we have done, yes?
Yes. And then you can say, this is the things that you want to do. I don't know which party I don't know. And then let's have a conversation as professional. Not difficult to train like a no. Let the people judge. Let the people judge, and they will say, nonsense. Can we have that? Are you up for that challenge?
Anytime, Mama. Anytime, Mama. I'm very up for challenge. I am anytime up for that. But also, like, we should be very civil in the way we talk to each other.
Bachanda wesu. Yeah, so we are game. So we are saying in conclusion, because apparently that's not meeting in Delhi, so we are saying as Bakazia is listening. So we are saying those defectors are free to move. I told Bakazia we can adopt him as a councillor.
Okay.
He can make a very good councillor because we have created decentralization through CDF. Yeah, so we need him back to come and stand as a councillor and face
who can be a councillor? Who can be a councillor, Matt?
We want you to defect us. We want to receive you at a press conference.
And the name can be councillor for you.
To save the people, not to be a councillor. To save the people, not to be a councillor. To save the people.
I am very disrespectful. Why?
This is very serious. This is a civic role. You'll be saving your own country. Which day you are coming? We will prepare a hero's welcome for you.
Let me tell you, I don't need.
We are doing adoption now, and we have increased the number of councillors. So you do very well. That's a very good position for you.
Good offer, Chanda.
Exactly.
Okay, can I answer to that?
Because the beauty is that you have the heart of the people. So you be dealing straight with the grassroots.
Mark, can I answer to that offer I've given? Let me tell you something, Mark. Maybe you don't know. I am not driven by
No, it is savings I'm asking for, not a drive.
Let me just be clear with you. Uyo mungulu uyo ulechitika ku Zambia wakabati umuntu walifi wokukwata integrity in things that they say they cannot honor it. I am not that person.
What do you mean by integrity? When people are practicing politics?
Integrity that I will do what I say and I will say what I do. I do not know how to double cross people. I've never done that before. So, whenever I spoke to double crossing,
are you a politician?
I'm not. That's what the thing is. So, if I'm a politician, I'm not a politician.
Now, okay, now I hear you.
So,
which party do you belong to?
Let me, I don't belong to any party right now.
To be a PS,
no, but so what I so
to be a PS,
Mark is asking how many people are asking?
Now I hear you talking about double crossing.
And then the other double crossing, politicians, they lie. They will say this and do this.
No, but
you understand? If you politicians, you lie.
What do you mean? Because
you understand? I'm not a liar.
Permanent secretaries, for me, they are involved in the implementation of the policies. Let's start with politicians.
That is why when you are PS, you don't look at the face of a person, whether any PF, new UPND, new socialist. You look at the Zambian.
Now, Ekulando Konombo, Ekulando Do you know why I agree with you?
Yes.
Do you know why I agree with you?
Yes, I know. Let me just finish this, Mark. You can ask him, Mark, number one for. If you want, you can ask him Mulenga Chilongamo. Abale Tumasana, by the time when I was PS, he came to my office. Mulenga Chilongamo came to my office with someone from UPND who had been fired because he was at the Japan Chitopalia. I'm still accused that no UPND, they will support our PF. Mulenga brought him to my office. The next day, that person went back to it. Got the employer to say, you have no right to interfere with this person. Here are the amounts you're going to pay. So it is clear. I dealt with a lot of people in that fashion. When you are a civil servant, you do not do that.
And I'm happy with what you have said. Now, what you have said resonates very well with the skill that we are looking for councillors.
Okay.
We are looking for a skill, a people that are skilled in serving the interests of the people and not those of political parties. And you possess that skill.
Now, let me tell you one thing I will not do. I will not degrade myself. I will not degrade myself in the political system that I'm seeing at Naramkuba Council. It is the Kano, Nemuinenga na Africana Ikara, Narulesha, oh, this is my area, this is what I can do.
But that is an elevation.
Look at this, it's not an elevation from PS. It's not.
And right now, I'm glorifying you for possessing that thing.
Marky, it is not an elevation from PS. You know what I mean. Maybe about permanent secretary, you understand what I mean. I'm a permanent secretary.
We have permanent secretaries that have gone into
let me tell you, if you have told me, if you had said, oh, not member of parliament, maybe that is what the conversation is.
No, that one is too high for you.
Enough people.
Not enough. Not enough. Because that one will be too heavy for you. It will crush
That's
you.
why I'm telling
So we
you.
better give you something we know befits you. Right
Look
now,
at this
it's an
mark.
elevation.
Look at this mark. If on you are just being what? You are being disrespectful in a certain way. You understand? You are go mark. Simona kusa pe mati yo mark. Wala mark. If you will ingine pa ni no shita. Awe, if you na talk about you mark if you will ingine kwa mko afa jene.
You have made my night.
I
need to mark every night in my bed.
Wala muku jene tamaki. Ngawaisa
Okay.
Now, Bachanda.
Let's talk about
This is 23. Bachanda, 23 hours. I'm moving into 23 hours. So I'm supposed to dash somewhere.
Where are you moving to?
Let me wind up. Bachanda, please take care of our counselor. I have to now look at I need to look for a word. There is limitation going on now.
Give us your last word.
There is limitation going on now. So I want to get a word.
Give us your last word.
Okay, Max. Serious. No, Malanga, we're serious.
So my last words, Chanda. So in order for us to contextualize the situation back home, the issues that relate to law breaking should be addressed in their context of law breaking. The idea, because if Mark today breaks the law, and then you are going to say that if you touch Mark because of his position, you are making UPND unpopular. You are going to create a precedence which will be very difficult to erase in future. This is why you have seen DCs being arrested. They are appearing in court. Permanent secretaries are appearing in court.
You are on your own.
Now, yes, so we should never plant that kind of seed. Remember, we are coming from a period where people could set a vehicle of political opponents ablaze. For Mary wanting to create or to sow a seed of discord so that people fear hostility in a particular environment, we should not go back there. And this is why the president is saying, right now, many opposition leaders are enjoying, because they are able to enjoy over 70% airspace on different media houses. Right now, we are not telling media houses who to feature. They are freely featuring these people and they are talking. That's why you can see them there. We have not closed any media house because we want these people to reach out to citizens. But in reaching out to citizens, in the same manner that you'd never hear me defaming all these people in the opposition, but I will look at what they did by sector. We should expect the same discourse to reign. And this is the kind of politics that we would want to develop in this country. We have only one country. Today it's UPND. Tomorrow there will be another political party.
Yes.
And because there will be another political party, we would want the environment, the peaceful environment, to continue so that the place remains favorable even for other politicians to come. I think that's the kind of environment. An environment where people will be competing with ideas and not insults.
Mark,
that's what we are looking for.
Mark, I have a question.
Yeah,
Mark.
so yes,
Mark, I have a question. Look, when we look at UPND and what they have done, who are we comparing them with? Was UPND before in power for us to have the other way in which they worked, or this is their first time in power? And if it's their first time in power, who are we comparing them with?
So it's like a DS question, DS 101. Now,
yes.
Where you say compare and contrast, you have to look at where you're coming from and where you are.
Yes.
Do you get the point?
Yes.
You are not going to get Zambia, though you sometimes, depending on what you want to look at, you're not going to get Zambia, UPND's performance, and compare it to the performance maybe of a ruling party in Malawi, because the environments are different, and what confronts people may vary. So we can only compare our policies which we used to sell to the people of Zambia in 2021 with those of the PF. And reminding the PF that the Zambian citizens that you should never go back to the opposition because they never believed in free education. They never believed in meal allowances. They said it was not sustainable. They never also believed that they can be debt restructuring. And they meant it. They were not pretending. In any case, no other country ever succeeded under the G20 framework. So they meant business. They never believed they can be cash for work. They never believed we had the capacity to turn around the economy to be able to capacitate ZRA to the extent of ZRA beating the target every year in revenue collection, giving hope to government to finance other areas. They never thought we could go back to the idea of taking children to school, the youths to school to do skills training for free. And in a space of 3 years, you have over 200,000 youths graduating in vocational training colleges, in fish farming, carpentry. We never thought we would have a country where we will stop importing desks. Right now, desks are manufactured in Zambia by Zambians, supplied to different schools. Zambians themselves in a particular constituency are constructing classroom blocks and schools, health centers on their own. So we are headed somewhere. So where do we get the skills from? There's skills training alongside CDF. Now, this is the type of environment that we needed to have. When we have people like yourselves who are in the diaspora, with the exposure that we have, where those countries that you live in came from somewhere as well.
Yes.
They had to elect leaders that had policies which brought the environment to where it is. That's why you're enjoying there where you are.
Yes.
It took policy. Yeah, so we want those brains. You tap into the ideas of colleagues where you live there. When you come back home, you'll be able to tell them, Vane, we cannot remain the same. Zambia must change. We have moved now. We need to have airports, international airports in provinces, so that we can cut down on the time. Then you'll be able to impress on the minds of Zambians that this is practical. We have seen it in where we are coming from. So we look forward to Zambians that are based abroad to come and help change the mindset of Zambians that we can be different. There are many Zambians that never thought that they would be getting money through cash for work. Imagine we have over 500,000 women on FISIP from 2022 to 2025. It's unthinkable. Today, from 2022 to 2025, we have over 1 million small-scale farmers on insurance cover. Government previously was scared of putting these people on insurance cover because of the act of God. We have managed to do that. Learning from
Mark, I think
so I'm ending now before we start another debate. So Kaziya, in winding up this sober submission, please, I'm going to vigorously look for a word because delimitation has started, so that as you come, we can give you a hero's welcome. And straight away, we want to ensure that you become our counselor and represent the people of Zambia adequately. The brains that we have there can be of relevance at what level. Thank you and good night.